So in 1 Nephi chapter 4, we get the account of Nephi meeting with Zoram. So what happened was Nephi kills Laban, disguises himself as Laban, talks to Laban's servant, and gets Laban's servant to give him the brass plates, which are a valuable copy of the scriptures. And then as he's leaving with the servant, he essentially kidnaps the servant. But at some point he gives him a choice, right? So in verse 31, he kidnaps him. He seizes upon the servant of Laban and held him that he should not flee. And then it came to pass that I spake with him, that if he would hearken unto my words, as the Lord liveth, and even as I live, even so if he would hearken unto our words, we would spare his life. Okay, so there's a veiled threat in there, right? He's not phrasing it as a threat, but he's kidnapping him. And I spake unto him, even with an oath, that he need not fear, that he should be a free man like unto us, if he would go down into the wilderness with us. Okay. And I also spake unto him, surely the Lord hath commanded us to do this thing, and shall we not be diligent in keeping the commandments of the Lord? Therefore, if thou wilt go down into the wilderness to my father, thou shalt have a place with us. So he kind of gives Zoram a choice, but kind of doesn't. Like he's saying, if you'll go down. So I guess his choice is whether to resist or not. Whether Zoram his choice is whether to resist going down or not. Because I think that his alternative might be that they kill him. At least that's probably the alternative going in his head. I don't know if Nephi really would have killed him or not. But I think it's interesting because if I were a detective looking at the case of Laban's death, Zoram disappearing and the brass plates disappearing would automatically make Zoram my number one suspect, right? If you're looking at this as a true crime kind of thing, Zoram would be my number one suspect because he was the servant, he had the opportunity to steal him, and then he disappears, right? I probably wouldn't think of Nephi and Laman and Lemuel first, although they probably would be suspects because they were trying to get the brass plates earlier, too. I was just thinking, so I guess the thought is that if this were a true crime, and I were a detective in Jerusalem, I don't know if they had detectives in Jerusalem, but Zoram would be my primary suspect for the murder of Laban.